Nobody knew where the circus came from. It arrived overnight on the outskirts of town. No posters, no announcements, just a towering strip tent standing in an empty field. The townspeople, drawn by curiosity, found the entrance open and welcoming. Inside, there was only one act, the grinning man. He stood alone in the center ring, impossibly tall, dressed in a tainted red and white suit. His makeup was crude, thick white paint simmered across his leathery skin, black paints where his eyes should be, and a grin too wide, too sharp to be human. He did not speak, he did not move, he only stared. The audience laughed nervously. Then the lights flickered, and when they came back on, a little girl was missing from the front row. The panic spread quickly. Parents screamed their children's name. People shoved towards the exit, only to find the flips of the tent staged shut from the outside. The lights flickered, another person vanishing. The grinning man tilted his head, his mouth stretched wider. One by one, with each flicker of the lights, the audience was whistled away. The last remaining man, a trembling old farmer, stood froze as the grinning man finally took a final step. The farmer did not run. There was nowhere to go. You could only watch as the clown's grin peeled open, revealing rows of needle-like teeth. The lights flickered one last time. By morning, the circus was gone. Only the empty fields remained. But if you stood in just the right spot, you could still hear the distinct sound of laughter. Low, wet, and never ending. The grinning man was still hungry. Elliot had always been terrified of clowns. Something about their painted faces and false grins unsettled him. So when he inherited his late uncle's house, a place rumored to be haunted, he was less than thrilled to find an old dusty painting of a clown hanging in the upstairs hallway. The clown was not smiling like most, though it had a sorrowful expression, a single painted tear trailing down its cheek. Elliot tried to ignore it, but on the first night, as he lay in bed, he saw he heard something soft whipping coming from the hallway. At first, he convinced himself it was his imagination. Then, at exactly 3 a.m., the weeping stopped and was replaced by a whisper. "Won't you smile for me?" The next morning, he found the painting on the floor. Though the nail was still firmly in the wall, the clown's expression seemed different. The tear was gone. His frown was smaller, his painted lips curling ever so slightly. Each night, the crying returned, and each morning, the clown's expression shifted, its mouth stretching wider and wider into an unnatural grin. Elliot locked the door to the hallway, but the sobbing still seeped through the cracks. By the seventh night, he had enough. He grabbed the painting, intending to burn it, but as he touched the frame, the air turned ice cold, the house trembled, a voice, thick with sorrow, echoed the room. "You took my smile, now I will take yours." The light flickered, the walls groaned. The last thing Elliot saw was the clown stepping out of the frame, its grin impossibly wide, its painted eyes beaming with real, glistering tears. By morning, the painting was back in its place, only now there were two painted clowns, and both were smiling. It started with a knock, faint, rhythmic. Three slow taps at my bedroom window. I lived on the second floor. At first, I told myself it was my imagination, just the wind rattling the glass. But then I saw it, a face, pale, round, pressed against the window pane, painted white with exaggerated relief stretching into an unnatural green. Dark eyes peered in, unblinking, locked onto mine. I could not move. I could not breathe. The clown just stood there, grinning, its fingers tapping the glass. Three knocks, then it was gone. I barely slept that night, convincing myself I had dreamed it. But the next night, it came back. The same slow, deliberate knocks. This time, I kept my eyes shut, pretending not to hear. But I felt it watching. The dead night, I closed my curtains. I even moved my dresser in front of the window. But exactly midnight, knock, knock, knock. I did not open my eyes. I did not move. Then came the whisper, "Let me in." My heart stopped. The voice was wrong, wet, like someone trying to speak through a mouthful of blood. I covered myself with the sheets, paralyzed. The knock grew louder, more urgent. "Let me in." I snapped. I bolted out of bed, tore open the curtains, but there was no one there. Nothing. Just the night, just the empty, dark sky. Relief flooded me. I laughed, shaky and weak, turning back toward my bed. That's when I saw the closet door. It was open, just a crack, and from the darkness within, a grin. "You should not have looked." The lights went out, and the knocking started again.